Electricast. This episode is brought to you by Redfin. You're listening to a podcast, which means you're probably multitasking. Maybe even scrolling home listings on Redfin, saving homes without expecting to get them. But Redfin isn't just built for endless browsing. It's built to help you find and own a home. With agents who close twice as many deals, when you find the one, you've got a real shot at getting it. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
What up? It's interview style, or we're talking about whatever. There's a lot of different kinds of movies. And I was wondering, Iris, what you thought. Is there a genre that you think deserves a resurgence? It seems like Westerns right now are, like when Young Guns came around, Westerns were seriously out of favor. This is in the late 80s, and it seems like they're in that place again, despite there being so many good Westerns in the 90s and stuff, and some in the 2000s, 3:10 to Yuma and stuff. Are there any other movies that you would like to see come roaring back?
I think you had mentioned in your prompt to me prior to this interview style, the genre that you aptly titled Kids Who Swear a Lot, groups of kids who swear a lot, which I think by that you mean coming of age tales with kids who are maybe a little bit more realistic or a little bit more adult.
Well, realism, I don't know. So I would say that Stand By Me was more realistic than The Goonies, where they also sweared more in Stand By Me, both strangely starring Corey Feldman. I think he also swore a lot in The Lost Boys. And then in that style, basically a throwback to that style, which seems to me to be distinctly 80s, Andy Muschietti's It, and I think that was 2017, I want to say now, was a lot of young kids swearing profusely all the time. Because, and believe me, I was once a young kid who swore a lot, is super accurate and real.
And maybe uniquely a product of the 80s. Home video was a thing. There was no rule as to what we could or couldn't watch. And also, the latchkey kid generation. I mean, some of these 80s movies that you discuss, like the parents literally, like they don't exist, or they're so ineffectual or inept, or they don't have their own stuff together that there's just zero supervision, which led to a lot of shenanigans, which I think lends itself really well to these kind of childhood adventures that are such a staple in our formative year time.
Do you think it would be appropriate to say that it is even maybe a type of rebellion movie, like sexual liberation films at a certain point, like gangster movies and brutal violence, like shocking horror porn style movies, and then the real movies where you take an unvarnished look at kids? I guess The Breakfast Club, they were still kids. Everybody except Bender got dropped off by their parents.
Right.
And they swore a lot. And so this is the coming of the real youth movement kind of movie in the 80s that kind of maybe also burned itself out?
Maybe, but is childhood that different now? Like, could we even have those? Do we even have those stories now to fictionalize and to tell?
Part of it was freedom and being out on the back Harlow Road. But nowadays, like, you'd have to do so quietly or over text or on frickin' League of Legends or something. You have to swear quietly in your bedroom, because I don't know that kids go outside anymore.
Yeah, this is the problem. They're having cyber adventures. They're like, let's go do a D&D campaign or something.
Wow.
Although that existed back then, too.
Yeah, Stranger Things. That's a good one, too.
Right.
Didn't they swear a lot?
And based in the 80s.
Right, but again, a throwback to the 80s, specifically to Stand By Me and Stephen King movies, I guess like it. Am I feeling, what is it called? What's the Shazam thing? The thing where you misremember something. Mandela effect. Did the kids in Stranger Things swear a lot?
I don't feel like, I mean, it was Netflix, so they could have. I don't know that was a hallmark like it was in Stand By Me.
What else? There's like disaster movies. Those come back every now and again. They're like, well, we need something for The Rock to do, so he'll fly a helicopter in San Andreas, the disaster movie.
Disaster movies also kind of an 80s phenomenon, wouldn't you say?
The disaster movie, I think, was more after Jurassic Park, with the advent of CG, where you could widely apply it to total destruction and annihilation. When I think of disaster movies, I think of Armageddon and
Twister,
Independence Day and Twister,
Deep Impact,
and Dante's Peak and Volcano, and then San Andreas, the big earthquake movie. I guess The Day After Tomorrow, that movie where the freezing walls were chasing Jake Gyllenhaal down the hallway.
Freezing walls?
Yeah, at one point the temperature drops precipitously and he's running to the safety of the room where everyone is hiding, and the walls are being coated with frost or ice and freezing behind him as he runs.
Oh.
Were he to dally, he would be frozen like a popsicle.
Interesting.
And what else? Raunchy comedies, that was definitely an 80s thing. And like the college frat kind of stuff burned itself out. Like maybe The Hangover was the capper on raunchy comedies.
But was it really that raunchy?
I mean, there was like boobs pulled out willy-nilly and like graphic nudity and all kinds of stuff.
I think that you are projecting the ending slideshow onto the whole movie.
Okay, that was a raunchy slideshow for sure. But also maybe I'm also Mandela affecting it, because I don't think you could see any actual nudity on Chow. What was his name?
Yeah, Chow. You see it. I
don't know.
You definitely get some bush. Actually, you only get bush, and then you
That's
get a
what
lot
I'm
of butt.
saying. It might have been obscured, which is racist. Anyway, I'd be curious to see the TV edit of that scene.
Oh, I learned about this new service called Angel.
Is this a thing that famifies all your favorite raunchy comedies?
Yes, I think it's called Angel Studios.
No.
It's a layer that you can apply to all of your streaming subscriptions.
No, thank you.
And you can filter out anything that you want.
Iris, we're talking about bringing the good stuff back, not further censoring or suppressing it.
And you could watch like 16-minute versions of The Hangover.
No, thank you.
And be like, I saw The Hangover, but only the wholesome parts. I can hear the disdain in your voice, but we grew up on TV edits.
Yes, but I've since erased those in my mind, having replaced those with the full unedited versions of Saturday Night Fever and Grease.
When we discussed Grease at orwhatevermovies.com, wherever you get podcasts, there were scenes that you had literally never seen before.
That's true, but that's Rizzo's song. Like, how did we need Rizzo's song?
I'm just saying.
I'm saying bring all the stuff back. Don't further remove it or take it away. Frickin' Angel. F all that, dude. Okay, thanks, love you, goodbye.
Early birds always rise to the occasion for summer vacation planning, because early gets you closer to the action. So don't be late. Book your next vacation early on Vrbo and save over $120. Rise and shine. Average savings $141. Select homes only.
Electric acid.